Hello everyone, I'm Angie and today we're checking on how it blossoms, a little visual novel game. Let's play some new game. And I really like this intro, it's pretty cute. The music ends, the cassette clicks to a stop. Okay, I have listened to it so many times, I have even memorized placement of the static from the song's original broadcasts. I'm worried that Tech may eventually eat the tape, but it never happened to him no matter how many times he played the damn thing, so I'm not too scared. It used to drive me crazy. Every day he played it over and over again. Sure, he would throw on something different after a few loops, but soon enough he would switch back and the cycle would repeat itself. Sometimes I think he would do it just to mess with me. I would be in the back in bed, smothering a pillow over my head to block out the music. He would just turn it up louder, even during all-nighters. That was so like him. Even near the end, when we had to finally settle down, he was still pulling that kind of crap. I'd come home from school sometimes, and the police would be at the door because the entire block had called in a noise complaint. He said it was because he was hard of hearing. By now he did it just to get a rise out of the old Bridges who lived nearby. I mean, that's going a little far when the police comes over. A little far. I think that was his worst fear, and in up just another bitter sack of bones. So he did everything in his power to beat the exact opposite, right up until the end. Of course, the man I would always deal with the fallout. I can imagine what the neighbors thought, seeing a little girl go door to door, apologizing because some old man decided it would be funny to put plastic flamingos all over their award-winning lawns. Oh my god. I can't help but smile, just a little, even if it does hurt. Okay, we're in that van, or car of sorts. Look like a little van. I take a sip of my coffee. Outside, a heat haze shimmers over the never-ending oceans of sand. So much desert. Even Roswell was just rock, sand, and a few shacks. All alien-themed, of course. Didn't see any UFOs, though. I'm not used to how dry everything is. Even with the AC on high enough to rip off my eyebrows, I'm still all sweaty. Guess that's what happens when you laze around in snowy Colorado for a decade. In that regard, the desert is a nice change of scenery. I don't exactly hate it. New sights are nice, especially since his health didn't allow him to do a lot of traveling when I was a little girl. I could see myself getting used to this. Okay. Well, maybe another 15 years when I have everything paid off. Oh, damn it, Amber, snap out of it. You can worry about that later. This isn't your trip, so stop being so selfish. Whose trip is it there? I push the eject button. I take the tape out and look it over, probably for the 20th time today. Years' worth of brown stains and greasy fingerprints are smooched all over, making it feel grimy to the touch. It still works like a charm, though. There are more cassettes in the glove compartment, a mixture of mine and his, mostly his. I should just play one of those and get it over with. My hand gravitates towards the latch. It would be okay, right? No. I snatch my hand away from the latch and flip the tape over. Once again, I find myself staring. With a sigh, I stick it back into the deck. I reach towards the play button, take another look to see if the road is still clear. Like always, Excuse me? What the heck just happened? Okay. Hello? Isn't? I slam on the brakes, their shriek piercing my skull. A glance in my rearview mirror shows girl cringing next to an ancient-looking car, covering her ears as I screech down the road. Making a U-turn of dubious legality, I pull up in front of her car, killing the motorhome's engine. I hop up and shield my eyes from the blazing New Mexico sun. Only now do I realize how precious the AC really is. It doesn't take more than several steps before the girl comes bouncing up to me with a look of relief.
Oh my god, thank you, thank you, thank you! I was starting to think no one would ever stop.
You're a little too enthusiastic, Missy. With each word, she gets a little closer until we're finally within touching distance of each other, her smiling face now filling my entire field of vision. Her bright auburn hair is done into a girlish side tail, glistening beneath specks of sweat. Standing out in the heat has made her round, pale cheeks a sun-kissed red, but she still looks put together like the desert would sooner melt her. Than do any real damage to her looks. I almost feel embarrassed to be in front of someone who dresses so cutely, her frilly green top and skirt putting my red t-shirt and khakis to shame. Why is she coming closer and closer? a little uncomfortable. It's all brought together by one thing though, her eyes. They're blue, vividly blue, deep and rich, complementing the traces of her misty perfume as she gets closer and closer. Can you just... Yes, too close! Do you know what personal space is, Missy? I scramble back and cough, trying to hide any awkwardness.
No problem.
What's she doing out here alone? Driving through? Hell, is she even alone? I peer off into the plains on the side of the road, half expecting a guy to pop up from his hiding place now that some idiot has fallen for their trap. That it'll be me, of course. But, much to my surprise, no one does. Instead, the girl continues to stare at me, smiling as she patiently waits for my response. I glance behind her, focusing on her car.
So what's the issue? Your car breakdown?
I think so, yeah. I was driving and I just kind of...
Stop.
Yeah.
She lowers her head in shame, eyes fixated on her feet, kicking the dust around her.
I'm not much of a car buff, but I can take a look at it.
Her head pops back up and life returns to her eyes.
Oh, wow! Could you?
I like the voice acting, it's pretty cute and fitting, at least for the time being.
Yeah. Can't promise that I can do anything, but I can at least check it out.
That'd be great!
Alright, first things first then.
This thing looks even older than my motorhome. It was probably a nice car once upon a time, but with a dented grille, multiple scratches, and faded murky green color. It's hard to believe such a cute girl was driving it. Well, her being cute doesn't mean she has money for a good car, you know? I would say. I slid into the fabric seat and started the ignition. I know too much about how this stuff works, just enough to keep the motorhome from giving out, but I can't imagine it's too significant of an issue. Probably just a dead battery or... no gas. A single car passes by, cooling us with a refreshing gasoline sprinkled with dirt and sun.
Is something wrong?
Is this a joke?
Oh no, did I break it?
She's a little oblivious to life, eh?
No, it's just out of gas.
What? No way! Dad said I should have filled up before I left.
Is she for real? Why is this there in the middle of nowhere by herself? As if trying to force all the ideas into the center of her brain, the girl grabs her head and whines under her breath. Jesus.
Ah, man, and I didn't charge my phone either. What am I gonna do?
You know, when you have this kind of a road where there's only rocks and desert around, I don't know why you wouldn't charge your phone or fill up your car. I have a lot of questions, Missy. Out over her mind, but I've never had a cell phone in my life. Why? How old are you that you can drive a car but you never had a cell phone in your life? I have a lot of questions to you too, Amber. Seems like you'd have to be pretty absent-minded to forget that, though. She whines once more and turns to me.
Hey, this might seem a little weird.
Everything about this seems weird, Missy, so don't worry. Let's go. Oh no.
But could you take me somewhere nearby so I can get some gas?
I guess we could. What do you know? She actually did it.
How long did you say you've been stuck out here?
I don't know. A few hours, maybe?
Did you wait a few hours in the heat? Jesus.
I've been trying to wave down everyone who drives by, but you were the first to stop.
Hold on, everyone?
Yep.
This heat must have fried her brain. Does she have an idea how dangerous that is? Well, what is she supposed to do else than that? If she didn't know it was the gas because she didn't realize, if she believes that actually her car is broken down, then wow, what was she supposed to do? Like, usually it doesn't, you barely can see even a gender or anything about the person that you're trying to wave down, so I don't see what else she could have done other than try to walk back to civilization, which I assume is a little bit far.
That's probably not a good idea, you know.
She cocks her head to the side and gives me a look of genuine curiosity, like it wasn't obvious or something. Well, it's not obvious for me either. How do you choose who are you waving down, Amber? Please tell me.
Huh? Why?
Well, you know. A cute young girl alone in the middle of the desert? It's just asking for trouble.
But you're a cute young girl alone in the middle of a desert.
I have a car that works, young lady.
What?
Her comeback takes me off guard and I turn away a little, avoiding eye contact.
Yeah, but that's different.
Well, to our defense, Amber wasn't waving down other cars. Sumaya returns to her face, the same bright one that she showed me when I first pulled over. I'm still avoiding eye contact, but she leans over to the direction I am looking at and continues to smile.
So, do you think you can give me a ride?
I don't know.
Please! It shouldn't take very long.
She's scared. It's like she didn't even listen to what I said. Yeah, I feel like she doesn't exactly share your point of view, Amber. She'll better me than some psycho. Besides, it's not like a small detour will make me late or anything.
I guess it's fine. I'm not in too big of a rush anyway.
Jesus. She squeals so fucking much. Before I'm even finished, she's springing over ground, bouncing to the motorhome.
Hey, wait!
It's sorry far too late that she somehow made her way into the motorhome before its owner, even finding time to give me a small wave from the passenger seat. I heave a heavy sigh, rubbing my temple as I climb back up into the driver's seat. The key is still dangling in the ignition. I wrench it around and the motorhome roars to life, forcing a surprised squeak out of the girl.
By the way, my name is Marina. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Amber, don't mention it.
Okay. Careful not to hit her car, I back the RV up and turn it around, sending us in my original direction. I reach for a play button on the cassette player, finally giving in to temptation, but Marina starts up again.
Why aren't we going the other way? Wasn't there a station a little ways back?
It was more than a little ways back. I saw a sign a few miles ago that said there was a station not too far from here, so we're going there.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that. You're really observant.
Okay. Yeah, you're just really oblivious. It's one or the other, ain't it?
Not really.
Silence falls between us, the roaring of an engine and swishing of a wind from outside being the only sounds. I take that as my cue and reach for the cassette player once more, finally.
How do you even drive this thing? It's huge!
Magic. Marina spreads her arms out like an eagle, unfurling its wings, almost bobbing me on the head in the process. Okay. I clear my throat and grab her arm. I clear my throat and grab her arm out from the air, gently placing it on her lap.
It's not that bad. You get used to it.
She tilts her head to the side and gives a light grunt as if saying, "That's so," and we return to the silence of before. Again, I reach for the cassette. She will never play that cassette.
So what are you doing out here? Are you going camping? Seems like what you're doing is fun.
I take a deep breath and hold it on as long as possible before letting it out.
Just traveling.
We give such short answers because obviously Amber doesn't want to talk with Marina, and she just keeps going. Nevertheless,
What about you? Why are you out here?
Oh, well, it's kinda silly.
okay. She scratches her head and lets out an embarrassed laugh before staring at her feet. She quiets down and, surprisingly, stays quiet. Well, looks like that worked. I reach for the cassette player one last time. I stop for a moment to look at the glove compartment in Marina, who looks lost in thought. Finally, I press play. Okay. Oh, we're on a station. A pleasant little chime greets me as I enter the station, Mariana trailing closely behind. The ride was quiet after I turned the music on. Joining the tables on her and asking what she was doing out there seemed to throw her off. I didn't mean to come off as cold as I did. It's just been ages since I've had a conversation beyond accepting some half-hearted condolences. Though, to be fair, I haven't really wanted to hold one. The guy behind the counter is busy ringing someone up, so I set out in search of a gas can. The store is one of those big mini-mart places, made specifically for travelers. It's surprisingly clean for a place surrounded by sand. Every corner has an unnatural sanitary shine, accompanied by the scent of citrus cleaning products.
Hey, they have cola flavor here!
I don't think that's our main priority now, Marina. I turn and find Marina clutching the sushi machine, her eyes widening like cats when pumped with yarn.
Don't most gas stations have it?
She shakes her head, but doesn't take her eyes off of the machine.
All the places back home only had cherry and raspberry. When we got sick of them, we just had to mix them together.
Interesting.
But
Marina finally turns to me, wearing a face of pure, concentrated sadness.
I left my wallet in the car.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you... Marina, how did you survive life? How did you survive life, honestly? It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Just looking at her, I can feel my heart break. Wait a second.
How were you expecting to pay for the gas?
I don't know. I just remembered.
How did she last 5 minutes out in the desert? Yes, I have same question. I truly do.
Fine, I guess I'll pay for it.
Really?
Well, I hope you can pay me back when we get back to your fucking car.
Yeah. And grab yourself one of those slushies too. But make it a small one.
Our pure concentrated sadness melts into pure concentrated happiness.
You're the best, Amber.
We are, I admit. She grabs a cup and holds down the button until the sushi overflows and drips down the... Oh my fucking god. I was going to pay for the gas anyway, but I'm hoping the tree makes up for the drive over. I spot the gas cans and with Marina happily sipping her drink, grab one and head for the counter. The guy at the register is still ringing up the same girl. Lines of flimsy plastic bags lines the counter, filled with a mixture of off-brand junk food and gardening tools. He scans the item as the girl digs through her wallet, her banana-wrapped pad, pressing a phone against her shoulder.
Aren't you supposed to be the badass mechanic? What good are you if you're not?
She swaps out a card and hands it to the cashier, more interested in staring at her nails than looking at him.
What the hell would I know? Have the square check underneath if you're so curious.
On the other end of the line, I can hear the faintest of squabbling. I can't make out anything they're saying, but the tone sounds worlds more tolerable than the girls.
If it's that old, then I say do it. Cash is cash. It's not like anyone's gonna care.
Oh, they are selling the car. They found the car, they're stealing the car, and they're gonna sell it. Am I right?
You better not take as long as last time, though. I'll be waiting for you slackers outside.
The girl slips her phone back into the crevices of her dangerously unzipped jumpsuit. The little clothing she has on underneath looks like it's going to burst from the slightest movement. Not my type, especially with that personality, but it's hard for me to do anything other than stare. The attendant reaches out to help with the bags, but the girl snaps them away before he can. She shoots him with a heated glare that burns straight through the man and into the wall behind him. Turning around, the girl looks at us for a second before rolling her eyes, then marches out the door, the bag swaying her down as they nearly scrape the ground. Definitely not my type.
Good luck.
Marina eyes at the can and nearly empty slush on the counter. Oh, she already drunk it.
Will that be all?
Yeah, sorry for more boring than that other girl.
The attendant hacks out the tray cutlet and scans the gas can. He flicks his oily ponytail behind his shoulder and then rings up Marina's
And
ring.
a lot of folks passing through and stocking up the past few days. It's been a good change of pace. I'm guessing that's why you girls are here too.
Marina eases in towards the counter, nudging herself tightly between me and the rod, hands creeping over to the sushi.
For what? I'm just heading out to California.
If I don't end up driving myself insane first,
You mean you don't know?
okay? The attendant freezes, forgetting about the scanner in his hand. Blinding red light beams from it onto my chest.
About what?
Why, the treasure.
Treasure. Marina's hand stops just shy of grabbing the cap.
Treasure?
Clerk's choppy face morphs into a grin.
You telling me that you girls haven't heard of the treasure in the journal?
No.
I have.
Oh, she did. I frown. Embarrassed, Marina looks at the floor again, her cheeks flushing red. So that's why she was in the desert. I guess she's always just this forward.
Oh, well, I heard about it on the news. It's kind of why I drove down here.
You drove out into the middle of the desert for treasure? Sorry, but you've lost me.
Not just any treasure, Missy. The miner's treasure.
Okay. He says it like that should clarify what he meant, and it doesn't clarify it for Amber. I stare at him. He stares back. Marina sips the last dregs of her slushy.
You honestly don't know.
Yep. Sir, we don't.
Not a clue. Are you gonna change that?
I love how humble she said. Yeah, bitch, I don't.
A little feisty, ain't you?
Nah.
Not really. Just have stuff to do.
Fair enough. A little while back, some folks were going through all the trash in their garage. As fate would have it, they came across an old journal. Turns out the thing belonged to their great uncle. Or maybe it was their great grandfather. I don't know. Some dead old man.
I cut him off with a cough, a polite hint for him to either get on with it or quit his yammering. Despite apparently knowing all this, Marina continues to stay focused with rapt attention. Sometimes her tree makes that annoying slurping sound again.
Sorry. I'll try keeping it short. Anyway, after flipping through it, they found out that he'd struck it rich during the gold rush.
If he struck it rich, then wouldn't the family know about it? They'd have to be pretty well off, right?
Oh, I can answer that. He went back home to Missouri without any gold and told all his friends he hid it.
By now the sushi's all gone. Marina tries for one last sip, but all that sucked fruit the straw is there. She breathes down the cap and blows out a small sigh.
No one believed him, though.
I raise an eyebrow. If even this girl knows about it, then I must be more out of the loop than I thought.
Well now, looks like Sister here has been doing her research.
Mm-hmm.
The attendant leans into the counter and smirks.
Story goes, he wanted to eventually move his family out west and dig his gold back up along the way, but kicked it before he could.
He slides his thumb along his neck and makes a cheesy sound effect to go with it. Okay. Marina giggles, but I just keep staring.
The folks that found the journal ended up selling it to some hotshot publishing house. Now everyone wants to retrace his steps and find the treasure.
Interesting.
Shipments have been selling like hotcakes. Just got ours last week.
Points to a rack of identical books sitting by the door. A sign hanging above reads Treasure of the Desert, a miner's journey. Take part in the new gold rush. Interesting. Yeah, that will stick in people's heads.
And people are really buying into this?
Sure are. I've worked here for over 20 years, and never have I seen this many people passing through. Even the banshee before you was here for some supplies and a journal.
Sure, okay. This is a hoax if I've ever seen one.
And where is this supposed treasure?
No one knows.
Yeah, well, that helps a lot, doesn't it?
It's all scattered around the desert. They say the journal has hints to its whereabouts.
Uh-huh. Marina, you said this is why you drove out here.
Yep, that's right.
But you don't really believe the treasure exists, do you?
Sure I do.
Oh, I love Marina. Yeah, she pauses to realize that what Amber was implying.
At least, I want to. But wouldn't it be super cool if there was treasure?
Sure, it would be cool. But there's a good chance there isn't. And even if there were, do you know where to start looking?
No, not really. I never got that far. I don't even have a copy of the journal.
She lowers her head like she knows there's a good chance what I'm saying is true.
But I have to try.
Why though? Her voice is soft and quiet, but there's a faint glow of determination behind it. Makes me feel ashamed for scolding, but the idea that she dropped everything for treasure is insane. It kinda is, sadly. To her credit, she did a little research, but that's cancelled out by driving to the desert without a full tank of gas. Yeah, I'm actually surprised why she didn't fully um fill her fucking tank if she knew she would be driving a lot trying to find the place. She wasn't prepared at all. The people who care about her must be worried sick. I barely even know her and I'm worried.
Aw, don't be too hard on her, Missy. After all, who could resist a good treasure hunt?
He looks to Marina and gives a big gummy grin, courtesy of his missing teeth.
Ain't that right, sister?
Marina springs back with a smile of her own.
That's right!
Rolling my eyes, I reach into my pocket and pass some crumpled bills to the clerk.
Yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
He shrugs and stuffs the cash in the register, so now I'm just paying for the tank and an empty cup. I pocket the change. I keep the cash away from the exit. That should be good enough, thank you. Marina follows, though a bit more animated, waving her arm like a fan as she says goodbye.
Oh, and sister?
Yeah?
You go ahead and take one of them journals.
Oh, he's so nice.
Free of charge.
Aw, thank you, mister.
Really?
My god, her squeals are deafening. I know you're happy, but can you not reach those screeching levels of your voice, please? Marina lights up like a firecracker and bounces up and down like she's a kid again.
Yup.
Oh, wow! Thanks, mister!
Once with motion, she swipes one of the remaining books off the rack so fast that I swear my eyes are skipping frames.
Hey, Amber! Look! He gave me one for free.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I see it.
I tune out her chattering and nod as we walk out to the parking lot so we can finally get the fuel. The attendant shouts one last thing, his voice fading behind the glass of a closing door.
Good luck on your trip.
Desert people are weird. Are they though?
No way.
They stole her car, didn't they? They fucking stole her car.
Maybe it's further up the road?
They stole and sold her car. For fuck's sake.
I can't believe it. It's gone.
Or did they do it to our car? Oh shit. That would be even worse. Because our car is kinda old too, isn't it?
We could have just passed it.
We weren't even away that long. How can it be gone?
No, it's her car. We stare at the empty space that once housed a certain ugly green car. We look in every possible direction. There's nothing. Nothing but an ocean of sun and a never-ending stretch of road. Was it cold? No, not out here. Not this week.
Where the hell did it go?
Well, Amber's got upset.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it?
Marina's hand rests against her cheek as she looks on with only mild confusion, like she's trying to solve a small mystery. I'm surprised you're not more upset about your own car.
Your car is missing! That's more than a little weird.
Well, it's actually my big brother's car. He just lent it to me when he left for college.
Yeah, he's gonna be slightly upset.
Oh, well that makes everything better then.
Like Amber is like, well, great.
Really?
Oh my god, Marina, can you not? Can you please not feel like that?
No!
I love that Amber is more upset about the stolen car that is compared to Marina. And even if it's not Marina, it's her brother's sake. What's your brother's gonna think when you say, like, I went to there to search for treasure and then I forgot to put on the gas, so I left it on the side of the road. I went to get gas, and when I came back, the car was gone. I'm not sure what happened because I'm sure he'll be thrilled. I let out a heavy sigh and pressed my fingers to my temple, attempting to mask away the stress and irritation.
It was probably stolen. We'll need to call the police. You have a phone, right?
I do, but...
Her pulse shows off a cliff. What she said earlier echoes in my head.
That's right. You said it was dead. And I'm guessing you left it in your car.
Yeah.
Why would you leave your phone in your car?
Well, that's just great.
Don't you have one?
Nope, never needed one.
Afraid no one would call you?
Oh my god, Marina! Don't reach too deep into my own personal feelings, Jesus fucking Christ.
Not quite.
I shut my eyes and look up at the dry sky. Its color has shifted to a glowing orange as sun begins to settle over the distant valley peaks. It's going to get dark pretty soon.
Don't worry, Amber. I would call you.
Thank you, Marina, but that's not what I need right now. I can't just leave her. Obviously can't. Even if she did have her phone, it would take forever before anyone could get out here. She'd go from burning up in the heat to freezing out in the cold within a few hours. Plus, if there are people around who would steal cars, then there's no telling who else is out here. I can already see how all this would go down. She would be huddled on the side of the road, trying to keep warm. A pack of coyotes would be howling all around her, closing in. And from down the road, a starved creep would pull up in a trashy old pickup truck, open his door for her, and... oh god.
Hey, where are you from? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, I'm from Carlsbad.
Pauses for a moment.
Or at least kinda close to it. It's a little out of the way.
Carlsbad? You're from California?
No, silly! Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Oh, right.
Let me go in there for a second.
How far is that?
Maybe 2 hours from here?
Wow, you didn't get very far at all, did you?
Marina lowers her head in shame.
I never really seem to.
Oh, that's so sad! Wow, I can't break my heart like that, Marina. Yeah, I'm not really one to talk. I've been on the road less than a day. Would have gotten farther if traffic on the I-40 wasn't such a pain in the butt, or if I didn't pick up Marina.
Hey, listen. You don't live too far away. If you want, I can probably give you a lift back home.
I prep myself for an explosion of thankful energy and excitement, but there isn't one. Instead, she continues to stare at the ground, her hands now balled up in a fist as she fidgets ever so slightly. We're gonna be forced to join the treasure hunt, aren't we?
Something wrong?
She shifts her gaze from the ground and looks me straight in the eyes, drawing a deep, long breath.
Remember the treasure we were talking about at the store?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot to ask, and you've already
Oh my
helped me out so much
gosh.
already.
Oh. It's time for treasure hunt.
But do you think you could take me to the first place the treasure is?
And how you want to go back? How do you plan to go back? Even if you find the treasure, someone will assault you and steal it. Like, what's your backup plan? What you thinking about, Marina?
Huh?
She wants to keep going, even after this entire disaster?
The treasure! Could you take me to the first?
I heard you the first time. It's just... You don't even know if this thing is real, but you've dropped everything to go look for it. And now you're asking me, someone you've just met out in the middle of the desert, to take you to it. Even though you don't know if it's real and you've just had your car stolen. Did I catch all that?
Uh-huh.
Shameless. I'm at a loss for words. How do I even respond to that? I try to recollect my thoughts, but only one word comes to mind.
Why?
Marina shrugs. Nothing more than that. She just shrugs. I take a look at her, a good look. Her wavy hair has been dried out by the hot desert air. Her face is red and drenched in sweat, probably close to melting off her makeup. Even her nice clothes are a little ruffled. But despite all that, this cute peppy girl wants to keep pressing on. Even when most people would have just called it quits after the car broke down. Even out here all by herself. For all I know, she could be some weirdo out to mock me and this is all some elaborate scheme. But she wants my help. My help? It's been a while since anyone has needed that. It's like an honor. Do I deserve that? Probably not. But she's still asking, why should I say no? I don't have to be in California for another few weeks. And isn't that why I'm making this trip? To see the sights? For him? He's a little excitable and even more naive, but maybe I need a little bit of that. It's a lot better than just being out here all by myself with nothing but the ghosts of my memories to keep me company, even if it's just for a little while.
Why the hell not? Hop in.
For real?
Yeah, for real. But only until the first location. After that...
The breath is forced out of me by the sharp impact of Marina tackling my stomach. A warm but damp sensation wraps itself tightly around me as deadweight snuggles up against my chest.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you!
Oh my god, the squeals!
What are you doing?
I'm hugging you, silly.
My cheeks grow warmer with each passing second. I try to wiggle my way out, but she stays latched on, her grip getting tighter and tighter.
Marina, please. You're all sweaty.
Sorry. I'm just super happy.
She'll notice herself, letting me clear my throat and recollect myself.
Anyway, let's get inside. I'm burning up out here.
We clamber back inside the motorhome, leaving the dry hellishness behind. Turn the ignition and let the AC blast away the earthy stuffiness. Letting out breaths of sweet relief, Marina and I collapse back into our seats.
Alright, so where's the first piece of the treasure?
Well...
You have the fucking draw now, girl.
You have no idea, do you?
That's not true! The news said a part of it was somewhere here in New Mexico. Probably.
I'm not surprised at all. Should have seen this coming.
You have the journal?
Yeah?
She hands the cheap paperback book to me. The cover feels like it could fall apart if you turn over a page. The whole thing is fitting of its rustic design. I set my thumb across the edges and flip through the pages. Dig for words and passages commenting on the journal's historical significance skip past my eyes, not long enough to be their own book. Finally, a photocopied picture of one of the original entries appears, preserving the faded cursive lettering, the entire thing printed on the next page over. Crusty brown stains and wrinkles engrave the photo. Some of the writing has been scratched out too, like someone made mistakes and couldn't erase them. I hate to admit, but for something that's probably a sham, the thing looks pretty authentic. With bounty and satisfaction in hand, I am now homeward bound, the perilous journey for coming. Through my unrivaled intellect and unmatched ambition, I have succeeded in accomplishing what many believe would no longer prove profitable. Of course, this only comes as a surprise to those around me, not myself. I had traveled this way on the trail with many others from the Missouri Territory, but as my typical characteristics grew, I could sense the envious stares amongst my so-called peers. The danger eventually became so great that I wished to flee. My companions left before I walked. For what reason you may ask, I do not know. It is with this in mind that I have taken it upon myself to leave a note for one of my fellow prospectors and to borrow his steed so that I may one day return to settle with my family. But if this journey has taught me anything thus far, it is that jealous, conniving eyes are abundant. But I am no fool. With my unparalleled wit, I have chosen. Excuse me, I haven't finished. Yeah, I'm not reading all this crap. Where should I actually start? Let's see. If he left California, lived in Missouri, and supposedly hid something in New Mexico, like Marina said, then what we're looking for is likely a later entry.
Ah, here we are.
Alas, I have reached the final point of division in my travels. During my stay among the ruined sanctuary, the rock native, Lamasi, had informed me of a landmark that was rich in the mythos of his people. Considered sacred, he said that the chance of the gold being discovered would be very slim. He referred to it as a winged rock, a monument erected towards the sky. After my previous detour, I have finally arrived. It is with much disbelief, I must say. My friend Lamasi was right. It is not just a monument erected towards the sky. It is a mountain, almost as if the Lord himself had struck up the earth among the sun. It is guarded by trails of rocks around it, all branching from the mother rock. On this journey, I have encountered many different sights, dangers, and yes, even an occasional friend. As I look upon the mountain before, I'm reminded once more that there are things bigger and greater than I. Although I am not yet rid of this cough, my soul has been humbled and removed of fatigue. I can think of no better place to store the last of my gold, and I anxiously await the day I return.
What does it say?
The gist of it is that it's near a big rock and a bunch of little rocks.
That should narrow it down, right?
Not exactly, Marina.
Yeah, to the entire state of New Mexico.
Marina gasps and launches towards the journal. The muscles in her neck tense and eyes wide with panic.
That can't be the only thing he mentioned. There has to be more.
I raise the journal high above me so she can't reach it, using my hand as a blockage against her head as she desperately tries to grasp for it.
Sheesh, relax for a second. I actually have a pretty good idea of where it might be.
She settles down, still stiff with anxiety, nibbling on the tip of her thumb. I lower the book back down and read over the entry one more time, just to make sure.
There's a part where he calls it a winged rock. Assuming my years of reading travel guides and brochures weren't totally useless, then I'm pretty sure that's a loose translation of what the Navajo used to call shiprock.
There's a ship out in the desert? Whoa!
Oh my fucking god, Marina! I peer over the journal. Marina's imagination is going bonkers. Her eyes lie as she tries to wrap her head around such a novelty even existing.
How long have you lived in New Mexico?
Marina swells up with pride, only to deflate like a balloon before speaking, instead choosing to blow a misplaced trend of hair out of the way.
All my life.
I sigh and slam the journal shut.
It's a small mountain near the border of New Mexico and Utah that's vaguely shaped like a ship.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense.
Oh my god, Marina! Please.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Thing's a landmark.
Yeah. But hey, at least I know now.
That's one way to look at it, indeed. Shrugging, I put away the journal and smirk. Misplaced as it might be, her cheeriness is a good mix out from the norm.
Do you think the treasure might be there?
Don't know, but it's worth a shot. We don't have anything else to go on. Sure you don't want me to just take you home?
Marina hesitates for a moment, turning to the windshield as if to dodge the question with her eyes.
No. I think I want to do this.
Alright then.
I put the car in drive and look ahead. The sun has set, the blue shade of dusk rising up to take its place. I press down on the gas. Marina turns to me and smiles.
Let's hit the road.